Whether you have your business listed on Google Business Profile or you want to list it, it is important you understand what the insights and principal metrics are to identify how relevant your business is. Hi, I'm Paula from Porter Metrics, and in this video you will learn how to track your Google business performance and create your own report using a free platform such as Google Data Studio. With this report, you're going to know how to gain relevance locally to increase your sales and walk-in traffic. Google Business Profile allows businesses to manage their own presence across the entire Google platform. This platform is also known as Google My Business, but the company rebranded this platform in November 2021. Google has changed and rebranded the platform a lot of times, and it has also included a lot of new features since its launch in 2004 because these changes that Google has made are more than just semantics. But what exactly is the difference between the former Google My Business and the new Google Business Profile? Well, the main difference here is that you will no longer need to use a separate Google My Business Profile website or mobile app. Now it is simpler with Google Business Profile. When a customer searches in Google for a product, business name, or category, they will find only verified listings and businesses. For businesses that do not claim or manage their business listing, they miss out on the majority of potential customers. Google Business Profile is simple to update and it can be managed by the business owner or anyone within the company. So if you own a business, I highly recommend you start creating or claiming your profile on Google Business Profile. I also have a guide that you can use when creating this profile listing that explains what are the items to consider when trying to make it more eye-catching or relevant. After watching this video, you can go to the description box and click on the link to get your copy for free. If you created a listing of your business in Google My Business, it is important you stay up to date on how the new Google Business Profile is going to impact your business, not only considering releases and updates about the platform, but also about the insights and metrics that you have available on the analytics section. So in this video, we are going to see different stages that you will have to focus on, such as the data that you have to keep in mind when you are about to start your listing or when you are trying to get better reviews or ratings from your customers, so you can make better decisions based on data. This time we are going to focus on SEO and why is it important when you are trying to generate more relevance around your local business. At the end of this video, we are going to dive into some key metrics that you have to consider to create reports that can be actionable for you. In this case, we are going to use a Porter Metrics connector for you to understand and cross different metrics that will help you gain relevance and beat your competitors. Did you know that Google Business Profile is also created to learn about your target market? Yes, and that means that the longer your listing is active, the more information it will gather and store around your business, and that information is what we call insights. Maybe you are wondering what is the most important part of the insights finding process, or why the marketing and advertising industry talks about that too often. We are going to answer the question why the reports are important when thinking about the strategy for our business. If we go into the thick of any business or marketing strategy, you will see that the most important part is your customers or clients. So this will be our first stage when talking about insights. Think about when someone looks for the best place to dine in or the most famous bakery in the city, or what is the best coffee shop to get a cup of their seasonal beverage. If you own this coffee shop, you would love to offer them what they are looking for. Keep in mind that the best way to get more customers every day going onto your local business without much effort is not only to service people, it is about bringing them a good experience. To understand these insights, we are going to understand first how customers find our listings. Google Business Profile will show you the total number of potential customers that found your listing in a given time. It also breaks this number down into 3 distinct categories so you can get a better idea of how your audience is finding your business. As users, this is what we do. We go and search for something we are looking for, maybe a coffee shop, a farmer's market, a park, a hair salon, or probably you know the name of that specific place you want to visit because someone just recommended it to you. And these are called direct searches. Let's understand why the direct searches are that important and how you can track them. The direct searches happen when potential customers search specifically for your business name or address. This number of direct searches is higher when you are highly recognized in your area. Another way to find a new business is with the branded searches. This metric will indicate users that have found your listing through searching for brands that might be related to your business. For example, if you make your coffee with a famous coffee brand, the customers can find you by searching for that specific brand, and that is great to gain relevance. Keep that in mind because this number is important when you analyze your insights. It also happens with clothing. So for example, if you're looking for a specific brand of sneakers, you will see that a sports clothing store or a chain near you will appear in your search. Then you can also see the discovery searches. These are searches for a product category or a service that your business offers. This one is a little bit broader, so maybe when you are starting your listing, this can be one of the metrics that you have to track constantly. The second stage is about the search queries metric. We are going to dive deeper into this metric when we start talking specifically about SEO. But as a sneak peek, I can only say that this one is one of the most helpful metrics when it comes to learning about the specific keywords that customers are using to find our business online. The third stage is related to where our customers find our business on Google, and it is about the views. As you already know, Google Business Profile is about the relevance that you have when people are looking for your business via Google or Google Maps. But how do you know where people are coming from? If they're looking for you on Google, you probably have to think about the content that you have on your website. Keep your promos and specials updated. Upload eye-catching and great content. Think about the pictures of your latest renovations. And if you offer great food or have a dinner place, you should show us some of your delicious dishes. And if people are coming from maps, you have to keep in mind that your location description, among some other different things that we are going to see a little bit later, will be helpful for you to start gaining more foot traffic to your business. Here are the metrics that you should consider on this stage. Views on search. Views on search gives you information about if a customer discovered your business through Google search. And of course, the total views. The total views on Google Business Profile Insights calculates the gross number of views your business has received via both Google Search and Google Maps. The fourth stage is the customer actions. This is probably one of the most important metrics of Google Business Profile Insights. The customer actions section will show you how your visitors are interacting with your listing, depending on the features that you choose to be shown when someone looks for your business. These are, for example, to visit your website, get directions to your location, maybe call you, or even direct message you. The reason why this metric is absolutely important is that it gives you the ability to track actions that bring you more results in terms of walk-in traffic to your stores and, of course, sales. For example, you can determine that the clicks to call action is the most important one for your business because it is probably the main source of bookings or reservations. All these customer actions will help you identify areas of improvement in your marketing strategy. And last but not least, the photo views metric. The content is really important, so the photo views metric section of Google Business Profile will show you the number of times your photos have been viewed in a given time frame. With this information, you can measure and understand how your customers are reacting to your photos or the content that you have uploaded to your Google Business Profile. So if you have a famous dinner dish, upload this photo and track how many times people are clicking on it. Now that you already know what the insights are, we are going to dive deeper into the metrics that are useful to build a report. We are walking through different stages of metrics. Now you know what are the type of searches that you can visualize in your analytics sections directly on your Google Business Profile. You discovered the search queries that offer information about the most popular keywords that are used to find your local business listing. So this way you can use the data derived from these metrics to create effective Google Ads and posts. Now you know more about the views on search, on maps, and total views of your business. And now you're able to define your customer action that is relevant for determining your business performance. And finally, you are ready to get some insights regarding the content posted. Now it is time. We're going to create a Google Business Profile Performance Report. This is how you are going to enter to the Analytics section on your Google Business Profile Manager. Go to the Business tab. Then select your business. Select all the locations you want to track the analytics on your Google Business Profile. Open it and then go to the Insights section. Here you will see all the stages we are talking about. You will see here how your customers search for your business, and then you see another stage, how your customers view your business on Google. And then you can keep scrolling down and see the customer actions, the direction requests, phone calls, and different information you would like to see about your business. On all charts, you can select the time frame. So you can select a week, a month, or 90 days. The Google Business Profile and its Post Analytics native platform offers you data related to your listing post, such as views, clicks, and variation percentages. These metrics help you analyze your post performance, and Google Business Profile Post Analytics can show you data on an individual post, all posts from the last week, and even the previous month. It is only good when you manage only one location, but it can be very difficult to keep all this data in only one place. If you manage multiple locations, it can also be kind of hard to visualize everything in the same place. The best option in this case is to build a dashboard using a free platform such as Google Data Studio. You will need to pull the information from your Google Business Profile. So for that, you will need to get your business profile connector for Google Data Studio to create your first report. So if you want to have a better visualization of your analytics so you can make better decisions for your business, you can use the Porter Metrics connector because it is one of the most comprehensive connectors on the market, and its pricing is competitive. If you want to go deeper into the information for you to make the best decision, click on the link in the description box. You can also start your 14-day trial and follow the steps in this tutorial. First, we are going to learn how to import our Google Business Profile data to Google Data Studio automatically through the Porter Metrics connector. You can start connecting your data by looking for the Google Business Profile connector on portermetrics.com and clicking on the Make a Free Report button, or simply searching for it on the Google Data Studio connectors gallery by typing Porter. If you access through our website or our link, you will download by default a report template to speed up your reporting. If you access through the connector gallery, you will start from scratch with a blank report. Then you just have to follow the steps to create your profile and connect with Google, and that's it. Now we are going to see how to connect our Google Business Profile data to Google Data Studio using this connector. It is quite simple to set up a Google Business Profile report on Google Data Studio. It is recommended to navigate and explore the metrics that are important for our business. Then you will see that to navigate the fields, the metrics, and the dimensions that are available is a piece of cake. Once you sign in, you will be allowed to bring one or more Google Business profiles to your report on Google Data Studio. We made it possible to bring multiple or all Google Business profile locations in a single data source. So you could combine metrics like reviews, impressions across all your locations. It is pretty useful for companies managing multiple brands or franchises to consolidate their locations' performance in only one view. Now join me and follow the steps to create your report. Go to portermetrics.com and at the product section, go to the connectors. Click here and you will see the button, Make a Free Report. If you need more information, you can navigate this page and you will find the information related to this connector. Now we're going to start our free 14-day trial. Once on the connector, sign up with your Gmail account to create your Porter Metrics account. It would only take your email but not any other personal information. Make sure you are using the same Google account, the one that you use to manage your Google Business profile and the one that you want to integrate or you want to create your report with here on Google Data Studio. Follow the authorization steps. Then select all the locations you want to track. And here in the top right corner, you just click on Connect. Then you will see a list of metrics and dimensions this connector has available. If you want to study them or get to know more about what the definition of the different metrics is, you can explore them all, or you just can click here to create your report. Once you start your 14-day trial, you will see here is a template by default. But if you don't find it useful or maybe you are looking for different information, you can start and create your own. Select the time range you want to track or you want to get insights from. Then click on Apply. At the top of this report, you will see how people are seeing your business. So here, for example, is the overall information that you need to keep at hand when you need to understand what is your content or what you have provided to your customers. This information is followed by what your customers are saying about your business. So here, maybe it's the most actionable part of this report because here you can see the reviews and comments that your business has received in a specific time range, and you will see here the total reviews and the number of star ratings reviews that you have received. Then you will also have information regarding the stars and the ratings that customers just leave you at your Google Business profile. In this template, you will see as well the business insights. Here you have information regarding the impressions and the total views of your Google Business profile. Remember, this total views number is calculating the views on maps and the views on search. Then you can create a graph or change the items or the metrics that you have here. So for example, if you want to understand how many views on maps versus how many views on search you had on this time, you can just switch and create a different visualization. To edit this report is really simple. You just have to click here on the edit button. Click on the graph you want to change or adapt. By default, it is showing total search impressions and also is crossed with the total views. You can type here the metric you want to include on your report, select, drop it, and that's it. You can also change the style of these graphs. If you want to visualize lines, bars. If you want to change the axis of your graph, you can do that as well. On the next part of this report, we have content insights. Do you remember this is one of the most important parts of our analysis? Well, I have here two graphs and also I have information in a table. I can see the number of photos that the business have uploaded during this time. Here, I am visualizing 98 photo uploads. And then I can see here how many views these photos have received during this time. In this section, I'm visualizing the number of photos uploaded by customers. And here, the number of views that these photos have received. And finally, I'm registering here all the information regarding the photos and content that has been updated during this time. Here, I'm visualizing the date Also the location name, which is really useful if I have different locations, as in this case, I have here some location in a different place. So I have this information registered in this table. Then I'll see the format or the media that has been updated. In this case, I'm only visualizing photos to look for. So for example, if you want to go to see the location dimensions, you will find the ID or the name or the language code, or maybe some other information such as name, service type, or even information around your account. So here you can just type location to see how many dimensions are available. Then it is extremely easy to change the location or the information of the dimension section. You just have to pull and drag the information you need to visualize. And now let's check the metrics. The metrics are highlighted in blue, so you just can do the same as we did on the dimension section. I can pull here whatever I want. In this case, I'm going to pull, for example, the media views that I have received during this time. And now let's check the metric for this table. Here I'm visualizing the location information and the media uploaded. So here I'm going to, or what I want to visualize is the result of these pieces of content. So I have here media metrics such as media customers account or media customer view. I'm going to use the media customer view to understand how these pieces of content are performing. I'm going to do the same, just pull and drag to the metric section. And now I'm going to pull a complementary metric such as media customers count. You can adapt the size of the charts. You can also play with some other metrics. I'm going to start creating a report from scratch. As you can see here, I have a blank report. I'm going to start from scratch, so I'm going to need to pull information directly from Google Business Profile or former Google My Business. I'm going to click here on the Resource tab and I'm going to manage added data sources. If you don't have any, it will show you that you need to add one. But here I previously have my Google My Business connector, so I can just remove it to show you how to do this. Click here on the Add Data Report, and then you will look for Porter and you will find a connector you need. In this case, we're going to use the Google My Business connector. We're going to do the same as we did on the previous page or the previous chapter. We can select our location or we can just do the same. Pull all locations data. Then I will click here to allow select locations, and then I'm going to click here on Add. I will allow the parameter sharing, and that's it. I'm going to leave here on the comment box some information regarding the metrics and the dimension. This could be useful when you are starting from zero. For this section, I'm going to teach you how to create a reviewer's report. So here you can mix dimensions and metric to understand the performance of any action or any comment that you have received during the time that you want. To create this report, I'm going to use the reviewer dimensions. So I can pull and drop the reviewer photo. Also, I can pull and drop the reviewer name. Then I can pull the reviewer comment. And now it is time to pull the metrics. I'm going to start the review a star rating metric. And of course, this functionality that I love, which is showing me the number of stars that I have received. Another thing you can do is to add a sort. So in this case, you can understand better the performance of your comments and the reviews that you have. By default, you will see dimension, but you can just remove it or replace it. I selected the review start rating in number, and then you can add a secondary sort. You can use it, for example, the date. Make sure you add the same dimensions and metric as you have on the sorts section. And there we have. This is how we can create a reviewer analysis. You can also add some scorecards to understand better the performance of your reviews during the time that you have specified at the top of your report. For the next section, I'm going to teach you how to create a search impressions report. For this example, I'm going to use a different resource. I'm going to add a chart. As a principal dimension, I'm going to use the date. And then I'm going to remove all the metrics by default. And now it is time to look for the information that we need. Remember that in this section, we are going to create an impressions report based on searches. So here we are going to look for the search metrics, so you can pull it and drag them on whatever you want on your report. So here I have the branded search impressions, so I'm going to add it as a metric, and then I'm going to use the direct search impressions as a secondary metric. Do you remember the difference between these two metrics? So the branded searches impressions is when people are searching for a category, a product, or a service that you offer. And this is how you appear in their search. But the direct search impressions are different. It's when people are directly searching for your business name or business address. In this chart, you can see the difference that you have on those metrics regarding the information that we chose for this scenario. I'm going to add another resource. In this case, I'm going to use a scorecard to visualize the total impressions that I have received. And also, I'm going to add date branch control. If you select the scorecard, you will see that it is related to the graph that we have created. So I highly recommend you create the charts and the tables first, and then you just select the information that you need to visualize. Here, in my case, I'm going to visualize only the direct search impressions. And also, I'm going to add another scorecard to visualize the information I have on my chart. So here, I'm going to use the branded search impressions. And now remember that you have also the total search impression. If you just pull the metric that you need, it will automatically create a scorecard for you on your report. Now you know how to create a searches report. So along with searches, we can find views in Google My Business Insights. These metrics show where people find your business on Google. So here, for example, we have metrics such as photo views, map views, search views, and total views. So let's go to the next step or the next page to understand how to create this type of reports. On Google Data Studio, you can find a button here when you can just add a new page. These pages, you can create a different report for any information that you need to deliver to your client or to your team. Again, I'm going to use a chart as a resource. In this case, I'm only going to use a line graph. For this line graph, I'm going to add views metrics. As you know, you can receive views from maps, so I'm going to pull them here on the metric section. And then here, don't forget about the dimension. As it is a chart, I'm going to use the date dimension. Let's keep searching for metrics that are relevant for this report. We have views on search and total views. Now let's add our relevant information with a scorecard. I highly recommend you start visualizing the higher number first, so you can read it easily. You have here the total views number, and then you have that this business has received more views on maps. Maybe as a recommendation, we have to focus more on the positioning and the message with this business. So in this case, I'm going to activate an SEO strategy to create more impact locally. Now that you know how to create a search report, we are going to jump into another stage. And these are the activity metrics. Remember to create another page and give them a name. The activity metrics represent the marketing outcomes for you to bring more people to your business. So here, as much they grow, it means that you have more potential sales. These metrics include phone calls, direction requests, or website visits. So we are going to use the same resource here to visualize this information. And here is your chart. You will see what is the main action that your current customers are doing when they are watching or they are looking for your business in a map or in a Google search. Then I also highly recommend you can add your scorecards to understand better the numbers that you are visualizing here. And now we're going to go to our last page. For this last page, I'm going to focus on our own business. So here we have the items dimensions, so you can display your portfolio on Google Business Profile. If you are a restaurant, for instance, you might show your menus or your famous dishes, or if you maybe manage a gym, you could visualize or you can display information of your space or your plans or different information that could be useful for your customers or clients. You only need to create a table with these dimensions: item name, item price, and item description. I'm going to show you how to create these tables. With these tables on Google Data Studio, you can quickly spot if there is misinformation or outdated items across your Google Business Profile. Now it is time to share our results. So for this case, I'm going to use template that I show you at the beginning of this tutorial. So I'm gonna click it in here because I want to share this report with my coworkers or team I work with. If you click here, you can schedule or you can create PDF version of this report. So you can share with some collaborators or other stakeholders outside the organization or your company. So if you don't want to edit or change or modify some of your information, I highly recommend this option for you to share your report. Now it is time for a bonus. We're going to learn how to audit our business profile listing. Before even create your business profile listing, it's important you understand what is working for your competitors. Yes, this is the key to be more relevant in your area. Identifying local competitors can be done with a simple search. In your search query, use target niche or primary Google Business Profile category, and then add the target location like this. There are more than 4,000 categories registered and ready to be used on Google Business Profile listings, so make sure you are on the right one. Now audit your competitors. What are the keywords that they are using? What are people talking about? Is the sentiment overall positive? Is there something they are not doing but you can do better? What are the call to action buttons that they are using? Is it eye-catching? I bet you can do better than your competitors. If you need extra help with your business messages and positioning, you need the ebook I wrote for you. It is filled with tips and hacks you can use to boost your business. Click on the link on the description box to obtain your free copy. Now it is time to say goodbye, but let me know in the comment section if this video tutorial was helpful. Share with me your dashboards, find me on social media, and I'll be happy to help. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tutorials and free resources. Stay tuned and see you next time.